Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing good this Sunday morning. Hope you all had a great Saturday. Let's see. Morning, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid. Hope you're doing well this morning, sir. Might just be me and you here today, but that's perfectly okay with me. Sundays are pretty slow, and I don't blame people for sleeping in on Sunday. Sundays are a good day to rest. So, let's see here. In my front pocket last night, I had my Vero Nova. And in my back pocket, I had my Vero Isotope Mini. Both great knives. I realized while holding the Nova last night that I will never get rid of it, and it is pretty much my favorite style and size of knife. Plain Jane, no frills, big size, big blade, perfect action. What else do you need? No flipper tab, perfect reverse flick, good clip, good deep carry clip. So yeah, I will get rid of lots of knives in the future, but this will not be one of them. Along those same lines, I probably will never get rid of the Griffin Scout, which is another one of those perfect size knives. It's a little larger than the Nova, maybe just a tad, but still. And then the Riot Tiger, I wish it had a way to open it other than the flipper tab. But it is probably another one I will not get rid of. Frack. Yeah, I believe. Good morning, B Shady. Frack. Frack. And I probably won't ever get rid of that one either. But I like my plain tie knives, as you see. That is what my first love is. Let's see. So, yeah. So I think you're talking about your frack, right? Let's go check it out. Talking about this one, your big one. I can't remember if I gave you the frag pattern frack. I think that's the one I'm talking about, though. Yep, that is a great knife. And your Revel with AR RPM 9. This one right here. Yep, that is an awesome knife too. Two great knives. Mr. B Shady, what do you got on you this morning? What are you carrying today? You got your Tide dice on you? You working counting money yet? What oh yeah, there was some deals coming up. Oh yeah. If anybody wants to get an awesome knife for 101 bucks, the LMAX version of the Ankilo is on sale for Black Friday, down 40% to 100 bucks. And they have the blue version with LMAX, the olive drab with LMAX, the orange and black with LMAX, and the plain Jane with LMAX, all for 101. So I think that is one of the best deals I've seen on this particular knife. It's a great knife. I actually have that knife. And I love their pivot lock on it. Kind of move some stuff around, so I don't think it's actually in this case that I have open at the moment, but it is a great knife. I think it's actually over here with my Voss Steeds. Oh, you got second shift today? That's awesome. There was quite a few sales going on this week, of course, for Black Friday. Let me see if I can. There was let's see. Oh yeah, the Brazen Palmetto State still has these on sale for $39.99. Great knife and a great price on it also. That is aluminum, but $40, can't beat that knife either. What else was there that popped up? Hinderer. Oh yeah, somebody said that. I'm not sure about this knife, but it's half price right now. Normally $100. Nitro V for $50. Believed it's OEM'd by Kaiser. That's a heck of a deal. Guess everybody's sleeping in today. Sundays are usually slow anyway, but that's alright. And then Midway is supposed to have a bunch of deals coming soon. You can get a 4MAX Scout for $42, which is a heck of a deal. And Mayhem, $109. Coming soon. Gerber Lockdown Slim Pry, $18. I actually haven't gone to Midway in a while. We ought to go check out Midway. Midway USA? Yeah, Midway USA. Let's see. Knives. Featured products. Hide unavailable products. EDC knives. Hold Still Verdict for $19. Formax Scout, yeah. You should get one of those for sure. If you don't have one. Wow. They got that little Raja 3 that I was talking about being a great knife for $37. Bel Air 167. Let's see Formax, see if it's available yet. Coming soon. Yeah, it's got the AUS 10 blade on it. They make one. This one has AUS 10 also. So yeah, that $42. Here, I'll give you the link. There's the link to that $43 Formax Scout. That's a great deal on a knife, though. You can't beat that for $43. Let's go. I want to show you just a quick video. Joe X Formax Scout. Here we go. If you've not seen this video, you're in for a treat. Yeah, if you've not watched Joe X's videos, you ought to go watch them. This knife especially. Morning, John. Yeah, this is pretty wild how much abuse this knife takes.
You can see the tip is fine, nothing broke. Alright, now we test on the tride lock.
Yeah, I'm going to skip through here because
It opens, no problem.
this knife is pretty crazy. Yeah. And this is the AUS 10 version.
Okay. Yeah, there are no roll-ups at the edge. Maybe tiny bits. I cannot see it through the gas mask. And opens quite good. No problem here. Okay, I do some more.
Alright, yeah, now watch. He's doing. I think he gets on the pillar here in a minute.
Cool.
If you haven't watched this video, you need to go check it out. It's pretty good. Then he proceeds to do a tip, trying to break the tip off.
Flex. No. Didn't break.
I think this is one of the only knives. Well, there's been a few that make it to a part 2. He breaks the tip on just about everything.
Made in Taiwan.
Then he hangs on it on the tip. I believe. Let's see. Yeah, he's determined to break this knife. Morning, Andrew. Yeah, $43 for this knife. You can't beat it. He beats the hell out of it. Can't get the blade to break. Can't get the lock to fail.
That's a fantastic blade, man. Fantastic blade.
After all this, still working.
Unbelievable.
So
Against the iron because it will break because it's a folder. And it's a triad lock. Maybe it won't break, but I won't do it. This cost about 110 euro. I did several tip tests with them. I worked it at the triad lock. I worked it at the spine.
yeah. So here's the actual. So yeah, he takes it to the. This is after that first test. And he still can't get the tip to break. Then he starts working on the pillars.
Against the breaker. We start with the edge.
Oh yeah, this is where he breaks it. Finally. He's determined to break it, that's for sure.
Taking out heavy chunks.
It doesn't give up easy, though. That's pretty wild.
Okay, the screw is gone now. Yeah.
Thumb studs came out.
Nothing so serious.
Come on, break. There it is. Finally. He hangs on it though. He takes and
you can see it's still working. Now some more at the triad lock.
Now he beats it to death. And if you've never watched, at the end of his videos, he goes in his
You
bunker.
hasta mañana and Scout against the clock.
The guns finally kill him if nothing else does. That's a 4-max Scout, Andrew. We were just talking about the fact that Midway has got it on sale for Black Friday coming up soon for $43. And I just remembered the Joe X video from when he did a durability test on it, or a fail test. Yeah, Joe X is wild. I got into cold steels probably because of this video. Alright, let's see what other deals. Anybody else found any good deals? Let's see. Knife deals and budget blades. Let's see. I've got one of those. It's a good little knife. Let's see. I guess the Knife Deals was the better place. Looks like one of the Atlas. I've got one of those. That's a good price for it. No, I haven't gotten my FSD. He's been talking about he's hand assembling them. He's coming up with excuses why he didn't ship them right away. And he's making a mini version. And supposedly if you bought the big one, he'll hold you a little one. I don't know what's going on with all that. Man, this guy's getting rid of some of his clones. And he's selling one of those Evil Eyes Integral SNGs like I've got a couple of for $250. He sold some brand new in the box. Check these out. Well, might not be the same guy. It's not the same guy. Hold on a second. Another guy sold 3 brand new, and Andrew, I know you saw that post. You had to have. But they were the Spectres. That's the best deal going right now, though, for $101. L-Max blade steel. All the different color variations. Hold on just a second. All right. So here's his message about whoever ordered one of the big ones, he'll let you get in line to get one of the small ones. And right here is where he's talking about that he's personally assembling, inspecting, packing, and shipping each unit. He says be finished up next week. But quite sure you saw the post I'm talking about. Let's see. I wonder if he deleted the post after he sold all his knives. Probably so. I could probably type in Spectre and find it quicker. Oh yeah, here's the guy. This is the guy that had it posted. Yep, he's deleting his post. So he sold this Norseman, and he sold 3 brand, man, I can't believe he still had 3 brand new Hilberg Spectres. There's a haptic. Let's see. I was hoping the post was still there. I wanted to save the picture because of how pretty they were. I don't see them though. I guess I could type in Hilberg if I don't see them soon. Ah, there they are. Yeah, he had 3 brand new ones. And he sold them for $350, I think. Yeah, he sold them for $350. The blue one, $300. The plain one, $350, and the gold one is $350. Yeah, 2 of them for $350 and 1 of them for $300. Pretty wild. Beautiful knives, though. Y'all wouldn't mind doing me a favor and smashing that like button. Help the algorithm. There's been a lot of knives come out recently. Somebody wants him to make a Cortex mini. I can't wait to feel how that one feels. All my stuff from China recently has shown it's taken forever, it seems like. Let's see. What's going on Blade Binge today? Y'all buying any knives today? No, John, it's not. I sold one to Andrew. Andrew, what did I charge you? 170? Something like that? 160? Yeah, John, it's I don't know. I sold him one for somewhere around there, 160, 170. Morning, Scott. 180. All right. Yeah, sorry. But 180 is half of 350 just about. Scott, you're looking for a new pen? Have you checked out eBay? There's quite a few. If you go to auction, let's see, auction. There's some good prices on some of the Tucsons. Tactile turn. What kind of pen do you want? Besides titanium. I know White Mountain Knife has some of Tucson's pens. I think, yeah. So Tucson has quite a bit. I got a couple off of eBay auctions for like 15 bucks, 20 bucks that they sell for 40. They have a bunch, pretty cool ones. Not sure what style. Looking for. Big Idea Design, yeah. Let's see. Blade Binge, pen. Their search is terrible on Blade Binge. Yeah, I've got a couple of the Tucson pins, and I love mine. I'm actually missing one of them, and I don't know where it is. It should be right over here with the rest of this junk, but I have done something. I've done something with it. Wow, that sounds like a heck of a mess going on, but it's really not. I don't know what happened to my other Tucson pin. I know I've got one in the car, but I could have sworn I had another one right over here somewhere, but it's not showing up. Oh yeah, something else I wanted to mention. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but seeing that picture made me remember. I finally broke down and bought a I bought a new titanium parts kit for my PM2 so that I can now drill out this stripped screw and replace the pivot screws and barrel and replace the scales on this. So this is my Spy 27 PM2. So if any of y'all have or run across a nice set of scales for a PM2, keep me in mind. Because now that I've got this, I don't know why I didn't buy one. The whole reason I never changed scales on this one to match all my other nice Spydercos is because of the pivot being stripped out. And I've got no excuses. So now I can get some scales for this one finally. Yeah. Oh, is that you, Tim? All right. I didn't know that was you. This is going to be our guest whenever he decides to hop on. It says in the title there, special guest possibly. I didn't want to, you know, stuff happens and people have things they got to do, so I didn't want to like hold him to it, so that's why I just kind of put the special guest question mark. But I believe, I don't know much about him, but I believe your name is Tim. The way I know him is from Reddit and his crazy Reddit name, which is Background Dare. But I believe his name is Tim because I heard. And Tim, aren't you going to start offering? Yeah, I'm going to have. Oh, thank you for subscribing. All right, John. Yeah, I've got coffee in hand. Good morning, Cliff. I think I read a post about you and one of your buddies are both kind of doing some of this stuff, and you're buying custom pivot sets and parts. I don't know what I'm talking about. When I get you up on stream, I'll ask you some of those questions. In fact, I'm not going to ask you any questions until you come up on stream, because that would just be a wasted. Yes. So we're going to talk about all that today, hopefully. I kind of sent him a little bit. I wanted him to know that we've gone over anodization and some modding and stuff, and I keep my solution right here handy. So and my DC power supply is right over here. So we're not new to modding, but I love some of the tips that you've posted and how you seen. Yeah, you're welcome to join whenever you'd like to, man. The link should be up. I've got lots of questions though. And I'm sure everybody would love to see some of your stuff and hear some tips and tricks. And so if you still have that link, you're welcome to join it whenever. One thing I didn't talk to you about is that you need to either have some kind of earbuds or headphones, or I guess you can use speakerphone. It'll just come across on the stream better if you have earbuds or headphones. And if you're watching the stream on somewhere, you need to mute that audio because it'll feed back into your microphone and come back across the stream again. But yeah, hopefully that link still works. If it doesn't, I can fix it or give you one directly. I was trying to look up some of my, I posted some of my mods in the Discord so that I could show them to you so you wouldn't think I was a total noob. But I've done quite a few flipper tab deletes, done all kinds of anodization, two tones, but you're getting some really good results, and I'm really impressed with your work. So that's why I wanted to have you up and maybe get some tips from you on how to make stuff better. I think Scotch Brite might be a key that you utilize. Let me put some of my knives up. While I'm waiting on you to join. Alright, I see you, but you're vertical, which that's fine. But it'll look better if you could go horizontal. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. It's going good. Can you possibly turn your video horizontal? No, I mean, you're going to have to probably reconnect and then, because, yeah, I think if you disconnect and then reconnect with it turned, then the orientation, the accelerometer might pick up on it. So just, yeah. All right, sorry guys, trying to get him up. It's always fun. We got somebody new up showing us some stuff. We continue to put up some knives. If not, I can rotate it in OBS. Let's see here. Mr. Tim, or Background Dare, is going to join us momentarily. He was here a second ago, but his video was vertical. Morning, TC. Let's see how the video. Yep, that came up perfect. Yeah, awesome. All right, I'm gonna get you added to the stream, and then I'm just gonna start asking some questions. And you can tell us anything that you want to, but I'm sure I'll be asking plenty of questions to keep you busy. So, all right, let me get you added here. Give me just a second, guys. Audio is added, so if you hear someone else talking, that is Mr. Tim. Let me see here. Browser. There's his source. Let's make it 1920 by 1080. And added. All right. So, how would you like to be known as the name you put in YouTube, or
Yeah, that's fine. As far
uh
as like my Reddit username goes, I mean that was just a default that I never bothered changing, and everyone kind of knows me by it now, so I just never bothered to update it.
yeah, and I think that's one of those ones that like some other people might have too, like the same with some different numbers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
At some point, I'll probably change it.
So how? First of all, how long have you been doing modding and stuff?
It's honestly relatively recent. I've only been doing it maybe total like 6, 7 months.
Really?
Yeah.
So what got you into it? Just seeing other people doing it, or?
Yeah, seeing other people doing it, and I already had some titanium knives, and I wanted to customize them myself. I didn't want to have to pay someone else to do it. I like to tinker, so I figured it'd be kind of fun to get into. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's the same reason I did it. I started looking up tutorials on YouTube, and I was like, well, as long it doesn't look hard, so why not try it, And then once I tried it, I was hooked. Uh, so I got in probably I don't know about a year and a half ago, about 6 months into my knife collecting. I've only been collecting for a couple of years, so I got in about 6 months after I started collecting. I guess I've just always been a tinkerer too, so. But and there's so many things you can learn on YouTube nowadays that if it's kind of pointless to pay somebody else when you can do stuff unless you're just not that type of person.
yeah, exactly, and that's exactly how I am. I saw the process and figured, it doesn't look too bad. It's not anything that I can't do out of my kitchen, as you can see.
Right. Do you use bisodium carbonate or do you use TSP?
I just use baking soda.
Yeah, baking soda.
I
All right.
tried TSP, and I don't know. I When I was starting, I got weird results, but that could have been just due to lack of prep or lack of etch, and maybe I thought it was the TSP I was using, so I just switched to baking soda. And honestly, I've had great results with baking soda, so I just stuck with it.
Yeah. Yeah, the same with me. I switched like one time over to TSP and I didn't have like consistent results, so I had to go back to baking soda. Uh, and do you use titanium as your cathode or whatever? I
Yeah,
guess it's
so I bought a big sheet of this perforated titanium, and that's what I use in my etchings in my anodizing bath.
and then do you use multi etch or wink?
I got a big batch of multi-etch that I made just the other day. So
Yeah, I'm a big lover of multi etch just because it's so less aggressive, and it
hmm
uh, and you can go backwards with colors and stuff, which is pretty cool. Uh,
yeah, exactly. If you overstep just a hair, you can dip it in for a minute and actually just walk it back instead of having to take it back to raw and start over. It's really nice. It's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it. It's also just so much safer.
Yeah, and then another thing I've always mentioned with anodizing is the surface you get before you do the anodization is the best it's going to be, after the anodization. So surface prep
Exactly.
is a lot of the things that I was wanting to ask you about because you're getting really good consistent results. So do you have like a blasting cabinet?
I do not. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. I do. It's just at my mom's place, and I haven't actually set it up as of yet. I got it about a week ago. No, so for me, here, give me one sec. I'll grab some of the stuff I use. All right,
Do you do a
so
lot of sanding and polishing with with yeah.
yeah, with these guys here, just on a Dremel. So Scotch Brite in different grits, and then just a cotton buffer that I then use some flits with. That
Okay.
will get you this grade of shine. There you go.
Now, do you do the Scotch Brite first and then move up to the others, the cotton and all that last?
Yeah, so the green is about a 320 grit, give or take. The black is about a 400. I ran out of my gray 600s, but honestly, the 400 gets it good enough that then using the cotton buffer with the flits, I mean, the results speak for themselves. It looks just beautiful.
Yeah.
And with this kind of finish, you can expect results like this.
Yeah, super bright,
Hmm.
shiny. And then another question I'm curious about, because I've had mixed results with this. Do you do both sides of your scales at the same time, like on a hook, or do you do them separately and just one after the other?
So it really depends, right? So, like for these here, which I'll demonstrate later, I'll probably do both of them at the same time. But for, say, this guy here, it's there's a bit more mass to the scales. So I will probably do one at a time for something bigger like this, just because you're running up against the limitations of the amount of your cathode that you have in your anodizing bath.
Right. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I had it seem like one time when I have this little hook that I made that's kind of shaped like a here. I'll show you on screen real quick. Let me turn yours off for half a second. So I made this little
Mhm.
like double hook,
Okay.
uh, and the problem I had when I used it one time is it seemed like the electricity was all flowing to like one side more than the other, and I
Hmm.
think it had to do with how much material I had in there, just like you were saying, compared to how much the cathode or whatever it is was in there. And I think it was just taking the shortest path or something. I don't know, but they didn't come out even, and I etched them exactly the same and everything. So now I've started doing them one at a time. But sometimes I've had colors not match exactly. So what have you found the key to be to get your colors to match exactly? Etching them the same, polishing
Hmm.
them the same, or what?
Yeah, so ultimately, like with my power supply that I have right here, it's got the digital readout on it. I'll watch the amps, and if I'm doing two pieces at the same time, whenever I decide to pull, I'm either waiting for the amps to essentially stabilize, or if I'm shooting for like a blurple style anodizing job, which is what I plan on doing with this piece here. Um, I'll try to pull both out at the same amp rating, and that typically gives about the same finish.
Okay, okay. So like instead of because you're trying to get it down to zero or as close you can to zero, but sometimes it will just kind of stop. Uh,
Exactly.
so you just try to pull them both at the same amperage place.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, and then man, you've gotten some really shiny, pretty. It's got to be the Scotch Brite and the polishing before you're. But then, how long do you let? Do you use heated multi etch or do you use room temperature multi etch?
So this is double strength. So um, you could heat it; it would just act a lot faster. But realistically, it can work at room temp. For stuff that I've finished, I typically give about 10-15 seconds in the etch. That's about all that I do, because once you start going past that, it will start to kind of matte the surface, and you'd have to kind of take it back out, put some flits on a rag, and polish it back up before going in to the anodizing bath.
Okay, and then how do you use acetone or alcohol or what to clean it before you put it in your etching bath?
Um, I just use a sponge with some Dawn dish soap on it, and that's about
Okay,
it.
and then rinse it and then just go straight in. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
usually what I do. Yeah, to get all the oils off. Um,
Yeah.
and then as far as I'm trying to think of some questions that I have
Mhm.
because I've seen your work. Oh yeah, about the epoxy. People have
Yeah.
asked how strong and how secure it is in there, and I told them that the first time you messed up, you had to like heat it up in a pan in order to get it out. Uh, but so how sturdy in there is it? Like, is it going to come out at all?
So I personally don't believe so. So this is one of my first ones that I posted about. This one has had the inlays in for 2 months now, and I've been carrying it. But I mean,
You can't push them out at all. Yeah.
no, they don't deform, they don't move. They are essentially glued in. And as far as the removability, right? So I mentioned you can boil these for about 5-10 minutes. It doesn't affect the surface finish at all, but what it does is it softens up the epoxy to the point where you can pop it out and it leaves zero residue. You can go
Okay.
back to skeletonized all you want, and it's like they were never there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was a super cool idea. And that one has shredded carbon fiber in it, right?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, you can see it embedded in there. There we go.
Have you started doing some where you're mixing some tritium type stuff in there?
So I do have glow dust, which there is actually some in the. I haven't redone these. There is glow dust in there. You can kind of see. Yeah, there you go. The only problem is the two-part epoxy I'm using. The glow dust just kind of settles down to the bottom, so it doesn't stay
Right.
evenly distributed, unfortunately. But I do have some tritium vials coming in, and I plan on redoing this guy here.
Yeah, that would be cool. How well that epoxy sets up pretty quick. I'm wondering if you waited like a little while and then sprinkled some in it that it might not settle as quick. Like if you could, yeah, I don't know. That's something I'll have to try sometime. But
Mhm.
yeah, I actually ordered some of that glow powder, but I wondered if while it was setting up, if you let it set up a little bit and then added some, and it might not be as liquidy. I
It
don't know.
might work. The only issue with my process now is as soon as the inlays are poured and I'm happy with how it looks, it goes straight into a pressure pot for the full 24-hour cure. So once
And
it's set and ready to go, it's I can't touch it for a whole day, unfortunately.
and do you use a torch to get some of the bubbles out at first?
Yeah, so I use a mixture of a hot air gun, like this guy here, just a basic hot air gun, to kind of heat up the epoxy, make it a little more runny, make it get into the corners evenly, and then just a little butane torch.
Okay. And of course, I'm sure you're not getting it hot enough to like discolor the scales at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. And then when you do fades, are you just well? See, the thing about some of these digital power supplies that I've told people is it takes it a second when you change voltage with the dial. It
Mhm,
like flashes on the screen for a couple of seconds until it locks in the new voltage. And
mhm.
so, where there's some old power supplies that have a dial that actually changes it on the fly. So I want to find one of those older ones eventually, so you can do some really cool super fades by turning the dial, as you're pulling it
Mhm.
out. But is that basically so? You just do like a two-part fade, like you do one voltage and then change the voltage and then do the other part and kind of fade it in the middle.
So not quite. So with this one here, if you look real close, it's got the whole color range between 50 volts and about 75 volts. And the way that I got this was I set my power supply to 75 volts. So the whole part got dunked at 75 volts. As soon as I saw gold, so I had it hanging like the scales
Right.
hanging like this off of my hook. I dunked the whole thing. When I saw the tip turning gold, I started pulling out. and
Right.
that's how you
So it
get that.
faded from that 50-volt gold all the way up to the 75 color. Yeah.
Correct.
But yes. So that looks great too. And let's see what you've done a lot of those skellies here lately, huh?
Yeah. Let me get
That
my most recent one here.
that blue one
My
was awesome with the matching
oh
clip.
yeah, yeah, that one came out fantastic. Customer was thrilled about that, and I will be getting him a custom pivot screw here. I heard you ask about that earlier. Yeah, me and
Yeah.
another guy on the subreddit, we are working together. He ordered. He's helping me as far as the purchasing power because
Yeah. The
I
sourcing
work
it.
nine
Yeah.
to five, so he's
Yeah.
purchasing them, and then I'm going to be, anodizing them and offering them to customers, and he gets a cut. So,
And are a lot of those ones the same ones that Tie Connector has?
no, Tie Connector truly does make those in house.
Oh,
I
okay.
cannot find those at all in China in
Okay.
titanium. I can find them all day in steel, but not titanium.
Right.
No,
Right.
they do truly appear to be made in house.
Okay. So that
So
black
this
one's
was
one
the
of the
most
newest.
recent one.
How big of a vacuum pump did you get?
So these are not cured under vacuum. They are actually cured under pressure. So the process is it's essentially a I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but it's a uh, cordless paint sprayer pressurized canister that can
Oh,
function as in two purposes, a pressure pot or a paint spraying pot. In my case, I'm using it as a pressure pot. I'm pressurizing it to about 40 psi after putting the scales in to cure. And what that does is, if there's any bubbles that I could not get rid of, it helps shrink them down to microscopic levels or gets rid of them completely.
right. Okay. So you're not pulling a vacuum. You're adding pressure. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which way you were doing it. I didn't because I know. Yeah, there's the pulling a vacuum on it. Will pull all the air out of there. So I thought that might have been how you were doing it, but I wasn't sure how that would work.
Yeah. So my biggest issue with it is I bought a cheap vacuum container, and the big issue is I don't have a way to pulse the vacuum to actually get all the bubbles out. So it's just a dumb, on a timer vacuum canister. So it will pull bubbles out of the epoxy, but that pressure pot has really solidified the quality of the epoxy inlays because I used to get not bubbles, voids in the corners of the inlays. Let's see.
Um,
This in.
a couple of people in the channel. I think Andrew wants to buy that haptic. Is that a Hillberg or a Lion Blade Works haptic?
Yeah, this is a Hillberg. Unfortunately, it is not for sale. I just got a hold of this one. I traded a Lion Blade Works Spectre for it, just straight across. And yeah, unfortunately, no, not for sale.
What about the other ones laying there?
No, these are all my personal collection. These are you guys have probably seen my wall display. They're up on the wall. They are not going anywhere in the foreseeable future if I don't have to.
I haven't seen your wall display. Is it in one of your posts?
Yeah, I've shared them a couple times. Um,
Let me
yeah,
hold on just a
my
second.
yeah.
Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. I'd like to see. Um, I've got hold on a second. I'll tell you. Yeah, I've got pretty much all the old classic. I've got one of those haptics. I sold the guy on the channel that's asking about that haptic a Spectre also. But I've got quite a few of them. Let's see if I can find. Well, I could just go. Well, it won't take long to find one of your posts, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm posting pretty regularly. Nah, and a
Yeah.
little further down, you should find the
Oh,
Spyderco post.
yeah. Here you go. All right. So we go to post, and then let's
It's
see.
been a minute since I've posted an overview of everything, but
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're getting to see. Yeah, that camo when you did was pretty cool too.
yeah, that one was interesting because I had to pour 4 different colors of epoxy all at once,
Yeah,
and
we talked
yeah, the
about it.
guy.
Yeah, I showed that pattern that you
Yep.
kind of used to go by. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I talked about that on one of the videos. Oh, and so when you do the epoxy, is this that green like florist tape stuff?
No, so it's if you look up epoxy tape on Amazon, you'll find this stuff here.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that I had a question about that, and then let's see, still going. High voltage. Have you seen some of the like real high voltage anodes people are doing, like 140 volts?
I have not.
Okay, I'll show you one here in a second. I'm trying to see your display because I wanted to show everybody
Oh man,
all
it's
your
been a
knives.
minute since I've posted one.
There,
Here,
so there's your
yeah,
pressure,
that's the pressure pot.
and so
Here,
it
let me
it
do
cranks
this
down.
for you here.
Let me see. I'm still
There we go. There. I'll show it off here real quick.
All right, hold on. Let me go back to you. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
cool.
have
Did you?
some openings because I have some of the collection on the counter right now open.
Yeah. I'm like typically my eyes are drawn to plain Jane knives, but then there's
Mhm.
just something about a real good shiny ano
Yeah.
that's something special. Um, but let's see what you got. Okay, so you got a Marauder H, an Eclipse, an Arius, a Hoback,
Hokkaido, I believe.
yeah, Hokkaido. Oh, and there's one of the Alpha, the Apocalypse Alpha
Mhm.
Hunter. How do you like that knife?
Oh, it's awesome. It really is. I love the harpoon shape on the blade mixed with the tanto. It's great. And then the fact
Yeah.
that they actually included all titanium hardware on it. Really,
Okay.
really
Yeah.
nice selling
You
point.
yeah you did a cool little double ano on that one where you sanded the flats and then redid it.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. And then you got Cortex, or is that an FS?
Hmm.
Yeah. And then what's on the other? Let's see, we got over there. Oh, you got a Tucson, got a Norseman, you got a Rosie, you got the Lemifshi. I love that Lemifshi knife. Like those feel so smooth. That one with the
They do.
ting,
They're great.
and then good old Green Thorn. And then oh yeah, I've got the mirror polish version of the sigil from Evil Eyes,
Hmm.
uh, with the same kind of inlay. What's that full titanium one right there?
So this one
The
is
plain.
a Riot
Oh
Gen
yeah.
9. It's not an integral. It's got this weird internal screw mechanism with a special tool to undo it.
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool. And then you got the Factor.
Hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Um, yeah, let me show you real quick before I forget about it. I'm gonna go back here to the browser and I'm gonna type in. It was Holt. Holt and 140 volt. Um, hold on. Spectre. But 140 volt. I knew I should have bookmarked it. Here it is. Yeah, check out this color that he gets at 140 volts.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so you have to get a specialized power supply to go that high. You have to get one, that's like a rack mount, industrial
Hmm.
strength. But yeah, when I ran across that, I was like, man, that's a crazy looking color.
Man, that is.
Uh, that might be something for the future. Uh, um, oh, by the way, I wanted to mention you do offer your services to people. So anybody that has a knife like Andrew that wants them to look like yours do, they can send them to you, and you do charge people to do work, correct?
Correct. Yes, I do. Yeah, you can see through all my posts. Most of what I post is customer stuff. So, yes, I do a lot of customer work.
Okay, and do you have a pricing thing, or is it easier for somebody to just message you and ask you what they want done, and you'll give them a quote, or?
It is easier, but my general guideline is for like a single color, you're looking at about 35 bucks. For a two-tone, you're looking at about 50 bucks just because, it is a little extra work. For like a polish, you're looking at about 60 just because of the time it takes to polish it up. Uh, that's about my guidelines. And then right now for the epoxy stuff, um, because I can't guarantee it to be perfect 100% of the time, I charge accordingly. For just a basic inlay, it's 20 bucks. If they wanted to add like the carbon fibers, 25.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's super fair. I have a Discord server, and there's a place on there for links and stuff. So I'll make sure to put your link to your Reddit on there for anybody that wants to hit you up. But
Awesome, I
yeah,
appreciate it.
if you want to show us a little ano here at the end before we wind her down.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got this. Oh, what is this? This was the oh, what was the name of it? It's one of the Ju Fuel models. Hmm, name's
It's
escaping me
not
at
the
the moment.
Waka, is it?
No, no, this was the. Oh man, what is this?
Where's the blade? Got
Lamia.
the
That's
blade?
the word.
Oh
Lamia.
yeah, the lamia. Yeah, the lamia.
Yeah. So
So so you only etch for about 15 seconds, huh?
yeah, give or take, depending on. So like if I'm trying to go like straight from a different color back to raw, it's obviously going to sit for a lot longer. But because I already did a bunch of surface prep to it, I won't have it in here for too much longer. I just want to make sure that because without doing the etch, I don't know if you've ever tried it or when you were first starting, if you ran into it, but it gets kind of nasty. The surface will almost pop on you if you're trying to go too high a voltage without an etch.
Yeah, it'll get some pitting if you use wink and go too long too.
Hmm. So right now, I've got my power supply set to 79 volts. Go.
73 is a good purple. 79, is that getting back into a gold, or is that getting into the green?
So 79, if everything works out, should get me kind of a blue purple finish.
Have you gotten is your power supply like mine, and it wants to like not go much above 95 volts?
Yeah, it's just a cheapo, 50, $60 Amazon power supply.
Yeah, it's the same
And
I've got.
let me rinse this off real quick.
Um John in the channel just asked if it was possible to get the epoxy the same color as the titanium.
So I don't know if you wanted to switch back, like raw titanium or like a specific anodizing color.
Like matching the whatever color that you anodize it.
So yes, if you look back at one of my posts, I did
Yeah,
matching backspacer, pocket clip, and hardware to his inlay color.
yeah, to that blue one.
Yeah. So you can see here we
You
have
got a
a
nice blurple.
beautiful blurple,
Um,
depending on how you look at it.
Do you use those same size attachments for your Dremel, the little buffer pads? How do you get in like micro milling and stuff? Do you just take your time, like it takes you forever, or?
It does take some time. I do have to apply some extra pressure to really get down into the milling, but yeah, that's all I use.
And on average, because I've spent ridiculous amounts of time working on knives, but how long does a polish usually take you? Like 30 minutes, an hour?
Um, Usually about 45 minutes. I really, like when I was doing this one, for instance, I thought I was done. I washed it, I was inspecting it, and then I saw a little bit of maybe uneven finish, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the 400, hit it one more time just to make sure everything looks nice and even, and then go back in with the polish. The one spot that really gets me that I haven't found a good method yet is the lock bar cutout. That's
Yeah,
always
and
a hard spot to get.
the little lines where the lock bar cutout connects to the rest of the frame is the hardest part. That little curved part.
Hmm. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that I usually don't even attempt there because it's just I try not to mess with lock bar tension. If I'm doing like a two-tone, unfortunately I have to just to get an even sand on these.
Yeah,
So I will take a picture of where the lock bar tension is before doing anything. That way when I'm done, I can reset it to exactly where it was before I started. Just so the
right,
customer doesn't even notice anything happened. That's my
right.
goal.
Yeah, people are finicky about their about their action. Like,
Yeah, especially if they went ahead and tuned it themselves. I don't want to throw off the feel of the knife for them after customizing it.
yeah. One of my, hold on, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna show real quick that blue one again.
Yeah.
Oh, that is your. I see your actual name is Tima. How
Yeah,
do
I
you?
tried to go. So
Sorry.
my middle name is an A, so Tim
Oh,
A. Paran,
okay.
and yeah,
There it is. So yeah, John, this one has matching. No, this is before you did the backspacer. Yeah, I got you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
So here's where he matched the epoxy to the hardware and the clip and the backspacer, I believe.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. Back when I first figured out that Anno wasn't impossible to do, I did a Joker Lamia and sold it in the channel pretty quickly. But I did a purple and a green, a high voltage green, and then I sanded the flats and did a purple and green.
I've got its brother right here in Rosie.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So some angles it looks completely purple, and then some angles it looks, completely green. It's pretty cool how that actual knife right there kind of shows the colors. Uh,
Hmm. I have one of those style coming in for myself with the new step milling. I'm
and
excited for that one.
yeah, and you see right there, I sanded and did the lock bar relief in the purple also.
Ooh,
Uh,
very nice.
but that is a pain in the butt, and I should have done the clip in the hardware, but the guy bought it before I could even, I posted it.
Hmm.
But that was after I'd been going for a minute. Uh, but yeah, let me go back. I didn't see with the one you showed. Okay, did you say you had the rosy? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good color combo. That green and purple together.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Um, John likes so you can't really match the epoxy to the titanium color, can you? Can you get any kind of metal pigments to add?
So I do. You can get what's the word I'm looking for? I do have metallic pigments that you can add to it. Um, if you were looking for like gray on gray, I don't know quite how well that would work, but I found you can actually add like okay, so for instance, the first purple epoxy inlay I did, the alcohol pigment that I normally use for adding the color, the purple has a tendency to burn during the curing process, and it turns that like brownish red, even though the color that shone through it with light was still purple. So
Right.
I ended up purchasing some acrylic ink for purple, and that works great. It's not quite as translucent, but it gives a nice vibrant purple. I suppose you could probably get an acrylic gray to mix into the epoxy, and that would probably match pretty close to the raw titanium.
Yeah, because I've seen them when they do the epoxy countertops and stuff. I want to say that I've seen some that kind of look like a metal, you know, when they do some marbling techniques.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's all kinds of pigments you can add to epoxies. There's so many people doing epoxy stuff now.
Yeah.
That there might even be some, like, you know, some really cool ones that might get real close to metal looking. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only really scratched the surface as far as additives into the epoxy. Now that I've kind of gotten my footing as far as getting good outcomes, now I can kind of get into looking at alternatives for colors and additives.
Yeah. So right here, I just did a quick search. I'm going to I'm going to go back here to the browser real quick. But there's this sterling true metallic powder sterling lining for UV epoxies. But there was there seems to be, this company might have there's some eye candy that looks like a marble, like, there you go, you can see the marbleized pattern.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So one of those might, you know, it looks like this company's the one to do it because they have all different kinds of. So yeah, John, to answer your question, probably, but that'll be something he'll probably test here in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that looks pretty cool right there. That might look good with titanium.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's you know, there's tons of people that are getting rich off making tables out of, you know, like old live wood tables with epoxy rivers down the middle of them and stuff. You know, they charge tens of thousands of dollars for some of those tables. Pretty wild.
Yeah, and they are
it looks
beautiful.
like, yeah, and it looks like they have some like true metal looking ones here. That might look pretty cool. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do I'm going to try to do some epoxy on some skelly sometime. And I guess the air bubbles was your biggest complaint about anything, and that's why you had to get the pressure pot.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue. Because I mean, setting them up, you know, that was never an issue. You know, originally I started with this was done with packaging tape, you know, nothing fancy, and it worked just fine. I did have a little leak on this one here, that's why it looks a little uneven compared to the others. But yeah, ultimately, air pockets or voids stuck in the corners was the biggest issue. And yeah, I mean, you can heat, you can use pipettes all you want. Some of them just will not come out, but that pressure pot really is just the final step to getting good results.
And if you don't mind me asking, how much was that pressure pot?
So I actually got a deal on it from eBay. They were running a random $15 off coupon, and it's just a Vevor pressure pot. It's nothing fancy. I ended up getting it for $94 to my door.
Okay, yeah, Vevor is one of my favorite cheaper tool companies here recently. I've got that. That's the blasting cabinet I've got, and I've got one of their drill presses, I believe. And the last 9 weeks I've been working on trying to make a fixed blade, and none of us knew how to do it. So the last 9 weeks we've been doing that, and we had to make a kiln to heat treat it. But yeah, this is the fixed blade that we ended up making the last 9 weeks. But I had to get. I almost bought a Vevor little heat treat oven. But we built one out of a coffee can instead. But yeah, we started out with just a raw piece of steel and pieces of G10, and we all learned how to make a knife together. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, Vevor is one of my favorite cheaper brands right now. So, but yeah, I was expecting it to be $200 or $300. So hearing it was only $80, $90, that's definitely obtainable. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as far as obviously, I'm working out of a studio apartment. So I ended up converting the air inlet from, the standard like air, what was that, quarter and standard
NPT?
like air compressor hookup to
Yeah.
a Schrader valve. And I'm just using a car tire inflator to pressurize the tank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way, man. And I'm all about finding like cheaper solutions for the same thing. Like, people go out and spend crazy money for things that you can make yourself. So I commend you for that. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but there's I don't know what state you're in and what the legalities of the cannabis laws are, but a lot of people use those vacuum purge tanks to make extracts with, and they make because you have to remove all the air when they make butane oils. When they use butane for extraction, you have to pull all the butane back out of it. So you use one of those vacuum chambers. So that's what I thought you were doing, but I think you're using. No, as far as like pulling a vacuum on it, I didn't know you were doing the opposite. But right here, this is I think this is pretty much the same version. Is that a bigger one?
So that one is a little bigger and it's on wheels. Mine technically has wheel mounts, but no wheels attached. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw there was a few different ones. This is the California Air one that popped up, and here's
right there. Yep, that's the one.
So that's the one you've got.
Yep.
So
and the nice thing is, Vevor has it pre-designed for both purposes. So normally, when you buy one, you have to make some modifications to use it in the way I'm using mine. But Vevor already took that into account, and it works for both things.
Okay, so that valve right there probably is the two-way, like a two-way valve, like.
Correct.
Yeah, and so is the one the blue with the blue lever? Is that the one you said you adapted?
No, so where you see the pressure regulator,
Yeah.
on top of that block is where you would normally hook your air compressor line.
Yeah,
that
I see
is
it
the
right
fitting
there.
I took off and put a Schrader valve on.
And a Schrader valve is just the tire valve, like a bike tire?
Yeah, I actually have one more if you want to have a look real quick.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's just 1/4 inch MPT to Schrader.
Nice. Yeah, well, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on here and giving us some tips and tricks. Multi-etch,
had a great time.
Yeah, multi-etch to me is key. Surface prep is super key, like, because, it's never going to look better than it does before you ano it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't when you start polishing afterwards, you start taking the ano off sometimes. Oh, yeah, I meant to ask you, have you done black ano yet?
So, not quite yet. I need to get my blast cabinet set up. From what I've heard from other users is it will not take unless it is blasted. And they recommended 120 grit aluminum oxide blasting. Once you do that, that surface is just about perfect to take on black. So once I get my
here's one that we did on video, black. Yeah, but I did bead blast it in my cabinet, so I didn't even think about that. But I did blast it before we turned it black. And black does some weird stuff. It makes some flakes. Like, that's why I was wanted to ask you if you had done it yet, because the stuff it makes some black flakes appear in the solution, and it's kind of weird. But yeah, I did this one, and I sent another one off to a winner that won one. But yeah, doing black is super cool. There's multiple ways to do it. With the I'm flaking on with the magnesium sulfate. I mean, the manganese sulfate. That's the like cheap way to do it, but you can do it with hydrofluoric and sulfuric acid too. But you have to heat it up and boil it, and it's kind of dangerous. So we stuck to the manganese sulfate method. But yeah, it turned out pretty good. So I'm sure you'll get into that soon. And you said you had a cabinet, but it was at your parents' or something. You're going to try to get it set up where you can use it.
Correct. Yeah. Once I can get that set up and I can kind of tune in the process, I can actually start offering black anodizing.
Yeah. And have you seen the guy G23 Customs that does all the stencil work?
I can't say I have.
He changed his name on Reddit. He's the one that does all those crazy patterns.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He changed his name from G23 Customs to something else with the 23 in it. But yeah, I had him up on video, and he uses a Cricut to do vinyl stencils, and that's what he uses a vinyl cutter, the little Cricut machines that the girls use for scrapbooking and stuff. So he makes all his patterns with those vinyl stick-on, and then that's how he gets all those patterns to ano on there, like some of the wild stuff. So you might want to look into that too, because that'll being able to do some. But he does some really super cool patterns. I don't know if you've gone and looked at his stuff, but
I've seen it every time he posts. I'm pretty active over there on the Reddit, but I've always wondered how he did it. I wasn't sure exactly how, but that's awesome. That's really creative.
Yeah, and he bought a laser. I bought a laser not long ago, and I've not had time. I work so much. I haven't got into it like I should have, but I'm hoping to be able to do some laser engraving and etching and some laser ano here soon. But I bought a nice laser. I just haven't put it to work yet. So, but anyway, man,
that's going to be awesome once you get it set up.
Yeah. Well, man, Tim, I really appreciate you hopping on this morning with so short a notice and showing us some stuff.
Yeah, no problem. I had a great time.
Yeah, and anytime you want to come back, you're welcome. And if you got anything new you want to show, or you just want to come hang out with us, man, we're here every morning just talking knives. So yeah, man, I really appreciate it. And if there's anything we can do for you, just reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Well, all right, man. Well, I'm going to start winding down the video. I'm going to get you off here. And but yeah, man, thanks again.
All right, yeah. You have a good one. We'll talk to you later.
All right, later. All right, guys. So that was some awesome info from Mr. Tim. Like I said, his name in the Chinese Knives Reddit, so y'all see me go there all the time. If you go to the Chinese Knives Reddit, it won't take you long scrolling down before you see something that looks really good in custom. The first one I came to, of course, is this Fun with Knives 23. This is the G23 Customs guy I was just talking about. But yeah, all you got to do is scroll down a little bit and you'll see background there is his name on Reddit. They've got crazy names on Reddit, whatever. But right here is his post. So go check him out, Tim H. And he does some great work. I will put a link right here to his profile so you can chat him if you want to send him a knife to get work done on. But he's very trustworthy. He's had lots of people that have sent him knives, and they show them, pretty soon afterwards when they got them back. So his prices are very reasonable. He should be charging twice as much as he is, but he's a good guy, and doing it for the love, and he likes doing it, so that helps. It doesn't feel so much like a chore when you like doing it. But yeah, his prices are very reasonable, so go hit him up. I will put his links to his Reddit profile in the links channel on the Discord for y'all to hit him up if you do want some work. I just did that, and anybody in the chat that wants to check him out, there he is on Reddit. Send him a message. Yeah, super cool meeting you, Tim, and talking with you and hearing how you've got such great results. Like I said, as somebody who has done some A&O'ing, seeing all your consistency is very, very nice to see. And I was curious, the polishing and the getting the surface prep ready and the multi-etch is probably part of the keys, but just having the right temperament to want to do it and love doing it helps too. So yeah, I appreciate all that info you gave us. All right, guys, so I did mark all my little holes, and I got to go out to my drill press and drill all these to finish up sewing the sheath, but I should be finishing that today. I did carry this last night, so it was the first night of carrying the knife that I made, which was kind of weird. I do need to resharpen it again, because putting it in and out of this case and rubbing it against the leather until it makes a good mark in there, it's going to keep dulling it a little bit. But yeah, I was able to carry it last night along with my 2 Veros. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't too awful for you. Yeah, we're just laid back over here talking knives, what's new, what we like, what we don't like, what's coming out next week. And on Thursdays, I try to do some modding stuff. We're going to get back into that this Thursday. We've been working on this stupid fixed blade forever. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you hopping on. Sounds like you work about like I do all the time. So, oops, I still got your name up there. That's funny. Turn that off. But guys, anything else y'all want to talk about this morning before we head out? I didn't have any more links, I don't think. Let me check. Make sure I didn't have anything. I did throw some pictures of my modding stuff up. I was going to show him. I didn't want him to think I was just a total noob. I mean, he's definitely refined his craft better than I have, but the writ die, there's a bunch of knives that I writ dyed and ones that I hadn't done yet in this picture. Here's one of my first 2-tone anos I did. Yeah, that was something else I meant to ask him about, was if he had tried Entropic ano yet. That was the second knife I had. That was the first one I did, and that was the second one right here. And then I've done tons of flipper tab deletes and added thumb studs to a couple of knives, including this one. Some of dramatic flipper tab deletes, like this one though. This V3 looks like a totally different knife without the flipper tab. But that one of the ones I did. And then I did a Forge Archbishop flipper delete. But yeah, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, all you got to do is go to my YouTube page, and there's a link at the top. It says Discord. Just hop on there and join the Discord. It's right up at the top up here. Cover up the frag milling. So you want it smooth? You could just sand it off, John. Let's see if I can find that real quick. See, I imagine you could make a thin knife, and let's see if Alpha Hunter knife. I forgot which store had it. Dang it. But yeah, you could, you want to fill in the frag? That's weird. Like, that's something I hadn't even thought about doing. I'm not saying it's weird. I'm saying it's different. But you want to take a frag looking knife and make it smooth looking? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. That would be hard, super hard to match up exactly. Yeah, sanding it would make it a lot thinner. I can't think who sells that. It might be China high-end EDC store. I don't remember who had the Alpha Hunter. Maybe it's 2 words. And I don't even know if they're still available. They were almost sold out last time we looked. I think there's a link somewhere in the Discord channel. Yeah, some Bondo. You're gonna Bondo up the Alpha Hunter Apocalypse. Apocalypse Alpha Hunter. Dang it, can't even type. I think this is that's the knife, but maybe it's Apocalypse Fold knife. Maybe it's not the Alpha Hunter on AliExpress. I can't remember how it's listed. Still not seeing it. John, you got a link for it? Did you happen to save the link that I sent you? Alpha Hunter. Aha. No, that's the one I just did. Yeah. I don't know where the frag one is. But we can just look at any old frag pattern. Think about filling it in. So, yeah. That would be super hard to like. You'd have to reshape the epoxy to be smooth and to not run over the edges. That's a lot of work. Would be an awesome knife though with smooth titanium handles. Mech Force. Let's see. If I could find. Aha, no, that's not it. All they want to show is that green one. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, I don't even know if the original company makes a. That's the cool pattern. That's the one with the cool pattern. You could probably deal with that pattern, couldn't you, John? Oh, you found it. Thank you, John. So yeah, there it is. So it's got the little pockets, okay, that go down in. So out here on the edges is where the little part would run over, and you'd have to build some kind of mold to keep it the same shape as the blade, and I just don't know what that would look like. But definitely an interesting idea. So you could sand it flat. They are pretty thick. Yeah, John likes thick knives. And the way it's made, all the little pockets are low spots anyway, so all you'd have to do is take off those lines on the top and it's already down there. The majority of it's already the thickness you would want it to be. So you could just sand the lines off of it, get some shorter screws, and the screws might even be the same as the flats down there anyway. The pivot screw might have to be shortened a little bit. But yeah, that's interesting to even think about. I just can't help but see a nutter butter when I look at this knife from now on. But I like that. I like that one with this pattern right here. Like, that's a super cool pattern. It's not $1,400 cool, but yeah, cool knife nonetheless. Thanks for finding that link. I'm gonna finally bookmark it so I won't lose it again. I've still got to buy one of those. I was wanting to hear somebody else that had one, so hearing Tim say that he loves it. Y'all know I love my harpoon and compound ground blades, so yeah, it definitely looks like a nutter butter. I ruined a few knives for some people by saying that. Well, guys, I think I'm going to start ending this one down. It is Sunday, and I'm going to relax today. Hope y'all have a great Sunday and a great start to your week. Thanks again for Mr. Tim hopping on. You're welcome to join us any morning you're awake and have the time. I know you said you work a lot, so Metal Relic Art. Yeah, nutter butters are pretty good. This is the Nutter Butter Show. And by the way, this is still the best $75 clone I have found. It's that Mosier Custom. And man, the action on this thing is so great. Yeah, y'all got to grab one of those. But anyway, guys, love y'all. See y'all